Colin Cain is a senior first baseman at Slippery Rock University. He graduated from North Allegheny Senior High School, posting one of the most decorative stat lines in the school's large history. We sat down with Colin to tell us his journey to Division II baseball at The Rock. So, how did you start playing baseball?
Well, I don't even remember when I started playing baseball. I was around 4 or 5 years old. You know, my mom first put me into it because actually I have a half-brother who was drafted by the White Sox way back when. And he played, professional baseball. Didn't quite make it to the major leagues, but so, baseball was kind of always in my family. And, my parents signed me up immediately for baseball at 5 years old and haven't looked back since.
So, North Allegheny High School, we went through a lot of your stats, and you have quite the record from our high school. Would you like to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, high school is, it's still good competition because North Allegheny High School was, as you know, 6A, so it was the highest of the highest in the WPIAL. And, we played some of the best competition around, and luckily I just had a couple good years there, and I was able to just capitalize on the right things. I had a great coaching staff there with, Andrew Heck and Sean Holiday, a couple of the other guys. And, we just we just had a really good flow there. My teammates and I got along incredibly, which is really what helps you perform the best, when you have pressure on you or your teammates are just not good people or, a lot of me guys instead of we guys. The performance isn't always there, but when you want to win for your friends more than you want to win for yourself, then that's where the culture is formed, and that's when you really start to become successful.
Colin had multiple Division I and II looks coming out of his senior year of high school. Some of these schools offered scholarship money, others offered him a preferred walk-on, but he ultimately decided to go with The Rock because of the culture and location being right for him. So, freshman year, named to second team All-PSAC West. What did that mean for you and your confidence?
Well, it definitely meant a lot. Coming in as a freshman, I knew I had an opportunity to play right away because of the graduating kids that were in the class before. We were a little lacking that year, so I was able to have that initial opportunity to come in and play my game. And a lot of people talk about that. Freshman year, you're kind of just so. You're just so locked in, and you just want to be like that guy for your college team. So I think I got a little freshman year luck as well. A couple of those home runs were from the wind, so I can't, give all the credit to me. But yeah, I had a great freshman year. I played probably about half the games, and I was just, committed to, being that guy for the team.
Moving on to sophomore year, your injury. Would you like to talk about it?
Oh, yeah. So, as many people know, Tommy John is quite common in baseball. And my whole life, I was always a pitcher and a position player. And I was never able to pick one or the other because I believe that my skill set was pretty equal, both ways. So, but it also takes a large toll on your arm. So, in high school, you kind of just get away with it because you're not throwing as much. And, it's like you pitch every now and then you play the position. But, when I came to college, when it was just full go practices every day, I had bullpens every week. I would be either relieving on the weekends or like a midweek starter. It started to take a toll on me, and I didn't really know how to deal with it or like what the proper measurement, like what to do. So I went down to DC and to play in the Cal Ripken League after my freshman year, and my velo was just dropping dramatically, and I had like elbow discomfort, and I didn't really quite know what was wrong because I didn't feel like a pop or anything like that most people say they do. And so I went in, that fall to get it checked out, and actually found out that I had, partially torn UCL, and I tried to rehab it from there. I got some PRP injections, which is, it's just like they take your blood and then they spin it and put it back into your elbow. Yeah, it didn't really work, but I came to the decision that I think if I wanted to try to get back to the same way I was throwing, I would eventually have to go through it, get the surgery. So I decided to just do it then in the that would have been the winter of 2020. So, but then I came back from that injury, and I was coming back that year, and 4 weeks into that school year, we got sent home, or so 4 weeks or so, we got sent home from COVID. So I wouldn't want to say it worked out for me, but I didn't miss as many opportunities that I would have because we didn't even have a full season, So we only played 8 games that year or something like that. So
we just talked about your injury. We talked about your previous years at Slippery Rock. We haven't talked about your senior year yet.
So this is my senior. Well, technically this is my senior year, but with the COVID year and my injury, everybody got that extra year. So, right now my options are to either come back next year, or I could graduate, but I don't think I want to do that. I got my whole life to work, so I think I'm just going to come back for that 5th year. My goals are just to, have fun playing baseball, because when I put that outside pressure on myself, when I try to perform to expectations, or when I just try to put too much added pressure on myself, I'm just not who I am. And who I am as a baseball player, I just go out, and I always just try to have fun, play it hard, because it is a game. At the end of the day, it is a game. And when you get to college, it's a little different than, say, high school, where, you're just kind of always that guy, and you're always, doing the right things. But, college is a little different. It's kind of more of a job. You get help to go here from the school, so you do have to somewhat perform. And so I think in the future, I just, this year, next year, just continue to have fun, see where it takes me. Being realistic, there's 20 rounds in the draft, D2 kid, not going to get drafted. So, but, there's always other ways to, go about it. If I wanted to keep playing after, I could try on for some, independent baseball. A lot of the guys from D2, sometimes they all go play for, the Washington Wild Things, out in Washington, PA, and, they do a great job over there, and, sending other guys to the pros. So it's a decision I'm gonna have to make at some point, and I don't really like thinking about it, because, I like to identify myself as a baseball player, So after my time is done, it might be a little tough of a transition, but right now I'm just going to try to enjoy these last couple years, not worry about what I'm going to have to do afterwards, and, just play the game that I love since I was a kid.
What should we expect from you on the field in your senior year?
Oh, I think you can expect me to be me. I do play with a certain type of flash and energy. I like to have fun. Our other first baseman's also playing great, so, I'm, doing what I can, and I'm getting in when I can, and I'm playing, pretty well when I am called on to, step up. And I just think if you come out to the ball field at Jack Critch, you'll just kind of see me run around like a madman, hyping up my teammates. I'm hopefully playing some good ball, but, I don't want to expect anything from myself other than just trying to have fun,
Thanks for your time.
Oh, Alex, thanks for having me, man. This was a blast.